Hey guys, what's going on? It's Gunnar here. Now welcome back to the channel. It's September 10th. Season opens on Saturday morning here. It's Tuesday today, so we're pushing real close to the season and I'm getting very excited. I hope you guys are too. And there might even be a few of you guys watching that might even have season open already. But today we're going to talk a little bit about layering rye and why I layer rye on my food plots. Now, if you guys can't tell, this is a food plot that I'm standing in here, about 1/3 of an acre. And as you guys know, I've got a combination of that red clover, tillage radish, brassica mix, forage peas, and beans, and then a little bit of light rye in here from the summer blend that I planted. So why am I coming in here with more rye? Well, the first reason is because the browsing pressure, right? I am going to be very honest with you guys. I've never had my plots browsed this heavy. We've had plenty of rain. These plots, in all honesty, should be about chin to knee high right now, but they're getting hammered by the deer. You know, every single plot that I have a camera on right now, there's multiple pictures every single night of 4, 5, and upwards of deer feeding in that one plot, and that's a lot of deer browsing. That's a lot of browse pressure. And so I've always layered rye, but I've never layered it this early. I'm layering rye here today. Actually, I'm spreading 100 pounds per acre on my 2 big plots, and I'm going to have to go and get another bag for my other 2 smaller plots on this farm. The reasoning behind that is they're browsing my clover, my light rye, my forage peas, and my beans super heavy. So I'm actually concerned that when it starts to get cold and the forage in the woods starts to die off, that they might even browse this down to the dirt. So I'm going to come in here a little bit early and I'm going to get a head start on this, and I'm going to be throwing 100 pounds per acre on this to get some young growth and maybe tolerate that heavy browse pressure a little bit more. And at the same time, I've still got my brassica mix in here, my tillage radishes, and those aren't necessarily going to get hit until it starts to get a little bit colder into the middle of the season there, late October, mid-October, somewhere in there, and then onwards. But the reasoning behind that rye is it's a filler. It's a really good filler. It grows in just about anything. It'll grow in truck beds if you get it some moisture, but it's such a hardy plant. It grows really thick, really fast, and it creates a green carpet below all of this other forage that I've got going on here. You know, as it starts to get colder and that clover stops growing, that rye is going to kind of take over for that because it grows at such low temperatures. It's going to fill in kind of where that clover was and kind of overtake some of that browse pressure that these deer are giving the clover, the forage peas, and the beans right now. So basically I'm taking an early fall attractant with my clover, my forage peas, and my beans, and once those get browsed off and chopped down, this rye is going to overtake them, and that's going to become the new forage because it is going to grow in very low temperatures. It's going to continue growing later into that fall, so I'm going to have a lot more tonnage when it comes to that. So basically the whole strategy behind it is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to layer this rye down. And now in about a week and a half or 2 weeks, I'm going to come back and I'm going to layer another 100 pounds on my plots. Because the reasoning behind that is I'm going to have young shoots of growth, and all of these layerings of rye are going to start growing at different times. So I'm going to have young shoots, I'm going to have a little bit more mature shoot, and that last layering is probably going to be like the first week of October. So I'm going to have 3 different age varieties of this rye in here, all going to be at a different maturity level and be attractive and prolong that attraction, prolong the consistency of this movement on these food plots, and basically overtake what was then my red clover, forage peas, and beans on this half is now going to be overtaken with rye once it gets cold enough that freeze kills all those plants off, and then that rye is going to be continuing to grow when it gets up into that 50-degree range. So that's why I love rye. That's why I'm layering it here today. I'm starting a little bit early because I want to get ahead of this because my plots are getting browsed so hard. So if you've got some plots right now that maybe you have a little bit of weed competition, maybe you don't have the tonnage that you're looking for, go in there with rye starting either right now or wait a little bit. Go in there right before a rain or just any time. Some of that early fall dew in the morning will even crack those seeds and germinate them too. So go in there, layer that rye, create a lot more tonnage. It's going to grow later into the fall. It's a very easy seed to get established, and at the same time it's going to come back right away early spring, suppress your weed competition, give those deer a really nice green food source right away in the springtime when they need it the most. But it's highly attractive in the fall, and it's going to exponentially improve the attraction of your food plots.